Hey everybody, how you guys holding up today? JT McDowell here with my good friend
Taiko Umaga.
We're looking at Warhammer 40K 9th edition, and we're going to show you how to play today.
So JT, we're here with Play on Tabletop, bringing you the Indomitus Crusade. What are you bringing today to the tabletop?
I'm bringing the Necron half of the Indomitus box set. 40 million years ago, they went to sleep. They conquered the galaxy, and they're awakening, and they are pressuring humanity now, and humanity's on the brink of destruction because the Necrons have risen to reclaim the galaxy.
But, Guilliman, the scions of the Ultramarines are going to band together, defend humanity, and bring you some real strong Primaris Marine action. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
So in order to play this game, you need a couple of things to start off with. First thing you need is a rule book. That's going to tell you where all your rules are. You can buy that separately. One comes in the Indomitus box, or the basic rules are available for free to download online. You'll also need dice. Dice are your standard 6-sided dice. That's how everything works in the game. To hit, to wound, all those neat things are all based on the roll of a dice. You'll need a measuring device of some kind. So you'll need a tape measure, measuring stick, whatever it is that you need to measure in inches the ranges and movement of your models. You're also going to need a place to play, coffee table, dining room table, or this beautiful battle mat that we have here.
Lastly, and almost most importantly for me, you need models. You need a gorgeous army so that you can play Warhammer 40,000.
And in those models, you have a couple of options. The stuff that comes in the Indomitus set is what we're showcasing here today, and is a fantastic way to start your hobby. However, there are codexes, rule books for each individual army. And you can add more units to your army, flesh out your force, and create crusading Marines, unstoppable Necrons, vehicle-bound Marines, Necron foot soldiers, Necron destroyers, Marines in jump packs, you name it. You can have anything you want, and all that information is going to be in that Codex rulebook.
So within your codexes, you'll find data sheets. These data sheets describe the units that make up your army. Those units are made up of models. So for a unit of bikes, you'll have 3 models, and that would be a discrete unit that moves around the tabletop together. Other times, you have characters. So that single model would make up a unit. Other times, you'd have a much larger unit. So this unit of Necrons consists of 20 warriors in the one unit.
Every unit in Warhammer has a data sheet. That data sheet contains the unit's name, in this case, Necron Warriors. It tells you how many models can be in that unit and their vital statistics. Necron Warriors, for example, under M, movement, have a movement of 5 inches. This means they can move 5 inches across the tabletop.
The second stat we're going to talk about is weapon skill. That is how well Necron Warriors hit things in hand-to-hand combat. Their weapon skill is 3+. That means on a roll of a D6, they need to roll a 3 or higher to hit their foe.
Ballistic skill is the next stat. Ballistic skill for Necron Warriors is also a 3+. This means when they shoot a target, they need a 3 or better on a 6-sided dice to effectively hit.
Strength is a statistic that describes how hard something hits in hand-to-hand combat. Often weapons will have strengths unto themselves that can make them more effective at damaging things.
Toughness is a measure of how resistant to damage a model is. Strength versus toughness is used to calculate if a model takes a wound or not.
Wounds describe how much damage a model can sustain.
Attacks are the number of attack rolls that a model gets when in close combat.
Leadership is a description of how tough a model is mentally, and will come up in the morale phase.
Saving throw is a measure of how effective a model's armor is of staving off damage that has wounded it. The Necron Warriors that I'll be playing have a 4+ save, meaning should they take a wound on a 4 or better on a 6-sided dice, I will actually ignore that wound.
Next on the data sheet, you'll find the weapons. These are the weapon options that the models may have in this unit. Sometimes you get to choose between one or another. Oftentimes it'll be chosen for you for the particular unit.
The 2 Necron weapon options here are Gauss Flayers and Gauss Reapers. Today I'm going to be playing the Necron Warriors with the Gauss Flayer, which is a 24-inch range, which means if I'm within 24 inches, I get to shoot at Taiko. The rapid fire type denotes a special type of weapon. In this case, if I'm in half range, I actually get an extra shot because of the rapid fire keyword. Weapons will often have different keywords, and those will come up as we show you how the game plays. Strength is a measure of how strong my gun is. The armor penetration is very important because in this case it's -1, which makes Taiko's saving throw of 3+ on his Marines go to a 4+ or a -1. That denotes how strong the Gauss Flare is at punching through armor. The damage characteristic is the amount of damage it will do. 1 wound should I successfully punch through Tycho's Space Marine power armor.
The next section talks about abilities. These are specific abilities that the Necron warriors have. Final box, we have faction keywords and keywords. All right, so today we are playing an incursion-sized game. I have come here today with a really powerful 50 power level-ish group of combat-oriented Space Marines, led by a captain with a relic shield. This guy's gonna be hard to take down, and I can't wait to throw him into the lines.
I'm going to be bringing the Necron half of the Indomitus box set. Absolutely love the box set. The Necron warriors look gorgeous and can shoot a ton. I'm really excited though for the Skorpekh destroyers. They're a fantastic unit that can absolutely mince Space Marines up. Power armor means nothing to these guys. Backed by the Skorpekh Destroyer Lord, I'm really looking forward to making some Space Marine sushi with these guys. The next step in fighting a battle is actually choosing the type of battle you're going to fight.
We've chosen Open Hostility Annihilation. That's quite the title of the mission,
Isn't it though?
Yeah.
What this does is detail what our deployment zones are and how we set up our forces.
So for simplicity's sake, we've decided to pick a pretty straightforward mission that doesn't involve any objective markers or other forms of scoring, but know that other missions within the Warhammer 40,000 book have a variety of ways to win and to score points.
This is a very straightforward how to play this game. Shoot the enemy, chop the enemy, get at her.
That's what we're out here to do.
All right. Our next step is to set up the battlefield, and we're going to do that now. You need a place to play, and we've got this beautiful battle mat from Game Mat EU and their fantastic Fallout terrain.
What's even better about this terrain is it comes pre-painted. You don't have to do anything. Right out of the box, you're ready to go.
Absolutely fantastic. So we've set up. This is our battlefield size, denoted by the size of the armies that we're playing.
30 inches this way, 44 this way, and this is kind of our pipes give us our borders a little bit.
For game purposes, the important thing is to decide what keywords the terrain is going to get. We're going to call these big structures, I think they're ruins.
These look like barricades to me.
They do. Barricade, fuel pipe, absolutely. And then that one is going to be industrial structure. Let's go armored container, because then you can climb up and on top of it, but you don't get cover for standing on it. Because you really shouldn't, because you're in the open.
Doesn't look like a lot of places to hide up there.
Doesn't really look like a lot of places to fall in and get munched. We're going by what GW has written in the basic rule book about what a ruin is, what a barricade or fuel pipe is, and what an armored container is. So the specific keywords like obscuring and light cover and those kind of things are right out of the rule book.
And now we determine the attacker and the defender.
Here we go. Haha! I am going to choose to attack.
I suppose I'll defend.
So we are playing Open Hostility Annihilation, and my deployment zone is this corner of the board, 10 inches off of the center, and Tycho gets the opposite corner of the board. So step 6, declare reserves. Reserves and transports. None of us have any transports, so nobody's to embark, but I am going to put my Skorpekh destroyers for one command point. I'm going to use strategic reserves, and I'm going to place them, start them off the board. They'll be able to come on turn 2 or turn 3 and be able to come on from a board edge, not counting your home board edge.
I'll also spend a command point and put my eradicators into strategic reserve. I don't want you being able to remove my big nasty guns off the table right away, so I'm going to put them back.
So now, as I've chosen to attack, I'm going to deploy my first unit, and then you're going to deploy a unit until we run out. I'm going to start with my Canoptic Scarabs.
I think the first unit I'm going to deploy is my Assault Intercessors.
I am going to deploy my Canoptic Reanimator. He is going to go back here, and because this is a ruin, and because I am behind it, you cannot see through unless you can draw a 1 millimeter thick line to my base. So even though there's a window here, if you can't draw a straight line to my base, he is going to be obscured.
I'm going to deploy my Outriders to edge my deployment zone.
I'm going to deploy my Necrons next. They have a 20-man unit. Unit coherency is important in 40K, and depending on your unit size, you have certain limitations. The smaller the unit, the farther apart they can be. For example, Tycho's Outriders just have to be within 2 inches of one other model. However, my 20-man Necron squad, every model has to be within 2 inches of 2 other models.
My next drop is going to be my captain. He wants to make sure that my Salt Intercessors know where they're going.
I'm going to place my Skorpekh Destroyer Lord next. Characters in 40K are only untargetable if they are within 3 inches of a unit that has more than 3 models, or a vehicle or monster. In this case, my character, my Skorpekh Lord, is getting protection from the wall of Necron warriors in front of him.
My Blade Guard veterans will deploy at the edge of my deployment zone as well.
So my Plasmancer and Crypto Thrall are going to go right there.
My Blade Guard Ancient.
I'm going to put my Roll Warden down.
So my Lieutenant is going to hang out over here with the Blade Guard veterans.
Looks like an Ultramarine castle. My Overlord is going to deploy again behind the wall of Necrons.
My Chaplain.
That's me completely deployed. You get to deploy the rest of your stuff. Determine first turn. All right, so now down to the roll of a single dice to see who goes first. Best of luck, Tycho.
Best of luck, JT.
Now that we've deployed and rolled for first turn, we would resolve pre-battle abilities and stratagems. I don't have any.
I'm going to not do orbital bombardment. Off we go.
A Warhammer player turn consists of 7 phases. There's the command phase, where command abilities are used and you gain a command point for a battle-forged army. The movement phase, where models are moved, you choose to advance and how you move in this phase. The psychic phase, where your spellcasters and psychic-powered units can do their magic fun stuff. The shooting phase, where your units armed with shooting weapons and ranged weapons can target and shoot enemies. The charge phase, which is where you choose which units to get into combat with. The fight phase, which is where you fight and chop stuff up in close combat. And finally, the morale phase. The morale phase is where you suffer battlefield losses and possible combat attrition. Start of the command phase, you get a command point. So I get a command point at the start of my command phase. I was at 6 to start the game, 1 to put my Skorpekh Destroyers into reserve, and now I'm back up to 6. Command points are used for stratagems, things like Overwatch or falling back if you're tied up in combat, but we'll talk about more of those as they come up. Now, during my command phase, I do specific things. In this case, I will take my Overlord and I will tell my Necron warriors,
To my will be done.
that means my Necron warriors are going to get +1 to hit in both shooting and fighting.
Ooh, they're mean.
So from the command phase, we go to the movement phase. The move characteristic on my models determines how far I go. I'm going to start moving. My Scarabs move 10 inches, +1 for my Overlord's bonus, and they fly, which means I ignore intervening terrain. I am floating beetle bugs around the board. 11 inches. These guys, I believe, move 5. I'm not going to move them very far at all. Just going to move them to get a little protection there. I don't want to get too close to you because you're really good at shooting. 5 + 1 is 6. I'm going to move the Canoptic Reanimator. I am going to advance my Skorpekh Destroyer Lord. So advancing is when you take, instead of moving a normal movement, you add a d6 to your movement, and that's how far you can travel. So my Skorpekh Destroyer Lord is going to advance 8 + 5, 13 inches. I just want to get to 18 inches of the bikes. I'm just going to move this Overlord up to here. That's the summation of my movement phase. Now we go to the psychic phase. I have no Psykers. However, the next step is psychic phase. If you had Psyker units, librarians, wizards, warlocks, etc., now's the time that you would cast their spells, use their abilities. We don't have those, so we can go right to the shooting phase. One of the key things to pay attention to on all your data sheets are the ranges of your weapons. My Plasmancer has an 18-inch range. However, I don't want him to get too close, so I'm not going to move him up. My Royal Warden has a 24-inch range. Now, he's well within that to shoot at Tycho's intercessors, so I'm happy with that placement. I've chosen to advance my Skorpek Destroyer Lord because that way I can get Tycho's bikes into range of his 18-inch weapon. It's an assault weapon, so I'll have a penalty to shoot it, but I'll still be able to shoot it even though I've advanced. Normally, you can't fire a weapon after you advance. My Necron Warriors will be able to have a choice of targets, as their range is 24 inches with their Gauss Blasters. And I have my Royal Warden in range of your Assault Intercessors. It's about the only thing he can shoot at, so I'm going to target your Assault Intercessors with my Royal Warden. Gotcha. It's rapid fire 2 at 24, which means I get 2 shots at 24 inches of range. I need 3s to hit you. I hit you once and I miss you once. My strength on my weapon is 5 and your toughness is 4. My strength is higher than your toughness, but let's take a minute to explain exactly what that means to everybody watching. When a strength and toughness characteristic are equal, you have a 50-50 chance of wounding your target.
That means a 4 up on a d6.
That means a 4 up on a d6, exactly. If my strength is 4 and your toughness is 4, I need a 4. If my strength is 6 and your toughness is 6, I need a 4. If it's even, it's 50-50. If I'm stronger than you are tough, it's easier for me to wound you. So if I'm strength 5 and your toughness 4, I get a +1 to wound, 3 or better.
3 or better.
If I'm strength double your toughness, however, then I actually wound you on a 2 or better because I'm double or more than your toughness with my strength. That means the only way I'm failing to wound you is on a 1. Conversely, it goes the other way as well.
So if my toughness is higher than your strength, 5 or higher, to wound something that is of higher toughness, if I have double the toughness of your strength, then you need a 6 to wound me. So it can be very difficult to wound large structures, high toughness monsters, and vehicles.
So I hit you once with my Royal Warden, and I'm strength 5 versus your toughness of 4.
That means you need a 3.
And I fail with a 1. I'm gonna fire my Skorpek Lord at your Outrider bikes. 18-inch range, I'm within range, and my weapon is an Assault 2d3 Blast. Now, Blast was really good against big units, but against a 3-man unit, it doesn't get the bonuses. If you had, say, a 10-man unit, I would actually get a minimum number of shots with my Blast weapon. I'm gonna fire 4 times total at your unit.
So normally you'd be trying to go for 2s, but you advanced, meaning that you can still shoot your assault weapons, but at a -1. So you're hitting me on 3s.
So I get 4 shots from my Skorpek Lord. I'm normally ballistic skill 2, but as we said, I advance, so I'm -1 to hit, which puts me hitting you on 3s or better.
That's right.
But because I'm a destroyer and I hate everything, hardwired hatred, I reroll 1s. So on 3s, 2 6s and 2 1s. Well, we couldn't get farther end of the spectrum.
Hey.
Typical play on dice. I reroll the 1s because of the destroyer, so I get 4 hits. Now my weapon is strength 6. What's the toughness on your bikes?
My toughness is 5, meaning you're wounding me on 3s.
I'm wounding you on 3. So how many wounds do I get?
Ooh, look at that.
So I've rolled 2 wounds. I wound you on 3s. My 2 doesn't wound, but because I hate everything, I also reroll my 1 to wound. And it doesn't matter. So I've wounded you twice. These are both at AP 1, which means your 3-up save is gonna be a 4 or better, and they'll do 1 damage each to your Outrider bikers.
So I need a 4 or higher to stop these wounds from hurting my bikes. 2 3s, that's not gonna help me at all. I've taken 2 wounds. I get to pick as the receiver of my wounds which of my models take these wounds, but because I am a multi-wound model, I have to take all the wounds I'm taking on one particular model until he is dead.
Now I've got my Necron Warriors left. One of the key things to remember is if you can't tell what you can shoot at, get down to the table and look. I'm looking at what my Necron Warriors can see, and well, it's not a ton. I'm gonna shoot 10 guys into the bikes. I'm gonna shoot 4 guys into the Blade Guard vets, and I'm gonna shoot 6 guys into the Assault Intercessors.
Sounds good.
So that's how my shots are gonna break up. So let's start with the bikes. 4, 8, 10 shots. Now, they were the benefits of my will be done, so they will be hitting you on 2s.
Effective.
Very effective. I hit you a lot. I'm strength 4,
It's 5, you're wounding me on
toughness 5. So I need 5s to wound you.
Ooh, there's a few 5s.
I get 1, 2, 3 wounds, -1 AP, so you'll go to a 4 or better save.
4 or better, save my bikes. Ooh, look at that. I rolled pretty well there. I got 2 saves, 1 wound gets through. That means my bike is still alive.
Oh, and I did not kill a bike. Well, that's too bad. Now the 4 guys are shooting into your Blade Guard veterans, targeting them. 3 hits, strength 4, toughness 4 or 5. So I'm wounding you on 4s. I get no wounds. Oh, that
Bupkis.
stinks. 6 shots into the assault intercessors.
There you go.
And I hit all
Oh,
6
hit.
times. Thank you, my will be done.
Wounding on 4s.
Wounding on 4s
Look at
because
that.
toughness 4. Now I'm AP 1, but you are getting cover.
So that means that there's no effect to my armor. I'm still saving on a 3 or
3
higher.
or better.
So I have failed twice on this particular armor save, and that means that I lose an intercessor, because they have 2 wounds apiece.
2 wounds each.
So this guy here dies.
That is the end of my shooting phase. Now we go on to the charge phase. During the charge phase, you can declare charges on any units that are within 12 inches. You have to be able to reach the unit that you charge. So I have an option here to charge your assault intercessors. I would need a 12, but I know that 9 assault intercessors against 6 Canoptic Scarab Swarms is a definite loss for me. So I don't think I'm gonna charge. That means we go from charge phase to assault phase because nothing is within engagement range. Engagement range being 1 inch from an enemy model, there is no fighting. We go right to the morale phase.
I have taken a loss, which means that I need to take a morale check for the unit that has taken the loss. So I roll a d6 and add to it the number of models that I lost. My leadership is 8, 9 because I get +1 for my general, which is right back here. And that means that the total of 2 is not higher than my leadership. I don't fail my morale test. I don't have to take combat attrition. I'm okay. My Space Marines are stalwart.
So that's the end of my turn. I don't kill any units this turn. I do some wounds, but I killed a single model.
Down he went.
Tycho, onto your turn 1, sir.
All right, my turn 1 starts with my command phase. So I generate a command point for being a Battleforged armor. So I'm back up to 6 command
command
dice. I have a Litany of Hate to sing with my chaplain, which he succeeds on a 3 or higher. He succeeds.
Important to note how Tycho is moving his bikes. Only infantry, swarms, and beasts can move through ruins. That's what the breachable keyword is referring to.
And despite me wanting to have cover from your nasty, nasty guns, I need to engage you quickly, so I'm just gonna get as far forward as I can. All right, that's as far forward as I can get without advancing.
So movement is done. Do you have a psychic phase?
I don't. None of my guys have the psychic keyword or any psychic powers, so that's it for the psychic phase. Moving on to shooting. So I'm gonna shoot with my Outriders. They have rapid fire 2 weapons that have a range of 30. My strength is 4, your
my
toughness
toughness
is
is
4, meaning I need 4s. Meaning I wounded you a grand total of 1 time!
Oh, that's an unfortunate. So I need a 5 or better to save. I get a 5, I'm all good.
8 of them can see this Crypto Thrall. They're near enough to their captain to reroll their 1s. 2 misses. So I need 5s to wound. Luckily, I'm pretty slick and roll 3 there. I get to reroll my 1 for my lieutenant, I believe. Yes, I do.
Yep.
Oh, look at that. So 4 wounds at -1.
So 4 wounds at -1, 3, 4. I'm still within 3 inches of that barricade, so I'm gonna get a +1 on my save. So again, +1, -1, I'm gonna be on 3 up saves.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, so that's actually gonna kill a Crypto Thrall, but I think I'm gonna use a command point to re-roll one of my failed saving throws.
very nice.
I have 6 command points, I'm gonna use one of them, so 1 is gonna fail for sure, and I need a 3 or better to keep him alive, and I don't. I spend my command point, and I still lose a Crypto Thrall.
So moving right along, I'm going to head to my charge phase.
To the charge phase. All right, sir.
All right. So I need an 8 or higher on 2d6 to make this charge.
I cannot choose to overwatch because Scarab Swarms don't shoot.
Oh, look at that, it's a 7, but I don't like that 7. I have a command dice left, so I'm gonna head down to 5 command points and re-roll that charge.
And here's the key. Because you're choosing to re-roll a charge test, you have to roll both dice.
into
And there it is,
10.
a 10. All right, so that charge was successful and re-rolled, and you don't have a re-roll again now.
I am out of rerolls for this charge phase. We'll see how far I can get with my bikers.
Okay, so you're gonna declare a charge on my Necron Warriors?
That's right.
I am going to Overwatch.
Overwatch.
Now, Overwatch is a stratagem. It'll cost me a command point, and every one of my warriors gets to shoot you as if it were the shooting phase. The only difference is I only hit you on 6s. So I'm gonna have 19 warriors firing at your bikes. I'm under 12 inches away with my unit in rapid fire range, doubles my shots from rapid fire 1 to 2, so I get 38 shots. 38 shots, I hit you 4 times. I'm strength 4, you're toughness 5. I wound you
One time.
once. So 1 AP1 against your bikers.
Oh no! I failed. And I can't re-roll that. It's during my charge phase. I've already used my command re-roll.
That's true.
Sadly, that means I lose a bike model.
1 bike. I did kill a bike.
Now I get to try and actually sink this charge home. 6-inch charge, not a whole lot. It doesn't mean that I can't probably move away, far enough away to get away from your Scorpek Lord, who's going to have a heroic intervention move, which I'm a little worried about. That 6 was actually a pretty bad roll on my side, and does leave me within 3 inches, even if I scoot over. My Blade Guard veterans have an off chance of being able to make it through all this terrain and actually engage. They will go for a Hail Mary. I need a full boxcars, a 12 roll here, a heroic charge from the Blade Guard veterans. It's close, but not close enough. Sadly, they fail. That means that I don't move at all. That would be the end of my charge phase. I don't get to move anything else.
I get to do a heroic intervention. Heroic intervention happens when a unit is within 3 inches of a character and that character is not already in engagement range. If you'd rolled farther, you would have got away, but he is going to heroically intervene into the bikes. That means I'll get to fight your bike.
To do a fight, first I start with my pile-in move, which means I can move 3 inches before fighting. So over here, this is going to count for a lot. It's going to allow me to get way more intercessors into the actual fight by hopping over these barricades. Now, you can fight through barricades. So my pile-in move allowed my entire unit to get within engagement range. I have 9 intercessors on the charge here. All right, so I'm going to start with my Assault Intercessor Sergeant. He has 3 attacks right out of the box. He has an Astartes Chainsword, which adds another attack. And he also has Angels of Death, which means that he's charging or has been charged or is heroic intervening, he gets an extra attack. So he alone is going to dish out 5 attacks into these swarms. Here he goes. He only hits 3 times. My strength is 4.
Canoptic Scarab Swarm is toughness 3.
That means I wound you on 3s. Look at that, 3 wounds, fantastic. Astartes Chainsword is -1 AP.
My Canoptic Scarabs have a 6-up save.
So you're just gonna
That base
get chained
has
up good.
1 wound remaining.
4 wounds apiece for these swarms.
4
so
wounds apiece for the Canoptic Scarab Swarm, yeah. So 11 wounds total. So 4, 5, 9, 10, 11.
All right, I've already fought, meaning now I get to choose to consolidate, which you have to do towards the nearest enemy model. All right, so next I'm gonna pick my next charger. It's my bikes.
I'm gonna spend 2 command points of my remaining 4 to take me down to 2 to choose to interrupt during the fight phase. Now, the way this works is because you've already declared an active fighting unit, after you've declared a unit to fight, I can spend 2 command points to interrupt with one of my units to then fight you before you get to fight again. Again, it can only happen once, and I'm gonna choose the Scorpek Destroyer Lord.
But why?
Because those bikes scare me. So because I spent the command points, I'm gonna go big or go home. I'm gonna hit you with my Hyper Phase Harvester. So it gives me strength +2 on his natural strength of 6. So I'm hitting, it's a strength 8 weapon, it's AP 4, and it's a flat 3 damage. But I'm -1 to hit you. I normally would hit you on 2s, but I'm -1 to hit because of the weapon. So now I'm hitting you on 3s. However, I'm a Destroyer Lord, I reroll once. So hitting you on 3s, oh my!
Hit.
Strength 8 versus toughness 5 on the bikes is 3s. Rerolling the 1s because I'm a Destroyer Lord. Oh, So I do flat 3 damage and flat 3 damage, all at AP minus 4.
-4 means that I don't get an armor save.
No, you don't.
So I don't get to roll any dice there, and I take a total of 6 damage to my unit. You can't overflow, so you kill off my not sergeant. I've got a lone bike sergeant. He has 3 attacks base. He gets an extra attack for his Astartes Chainsword. He gets a further extra attack for Angels of Death. And finally, he gets 2 extra attacks for Devastating Charge for being an Outrider. So that's 7 attacks on the charge. Here he comes, chopping up Necron warriors wholesale.
I'm so glad I killed the other
Oh,
one.
look at those ones. Where's his captain when he needs him?
So AP minus 1, my Necron warriors have a 4-up save, which means I'm on 5-up, I save them. I save 2, and I fail 1. I'm okay with that. I will take out a Necron warrior. And that's all your charger, sir?
That's it.
So then I'm gonna get to fight back with my Necron warriors. So I've got 9 Necron warriors that can fight back against your Primaris Outrider Sergeant. I get 1 wound on each psycho, no armor penetration value.
That means I get a 3-up. That's a 2. I take a wound. Actually, I'll use a command stratagem here to re-roll that because I can. It's near the end of my phase. A 3. That'll do it.
They have 4 attacks each. Any 6s will automatically wound you to hit because feet are mandibles. So I need 5s. So that is going to be a total of 3 wounds against your Intercessor Assault Squad.
Saving me on 3-ups. So I took a wound.
You took a wound.
You in the back, the morale phase. I have lost enough on my bikers this round to get a +2 to my roll. Actually, that means with my leadership of 8, I still can't fail.
Still can't fail.
I lost 2 Necrons, and because of the +1 to the leadership from my Overlord, my Necrons don't have to test either. I lost 3 of my Canoptic Scarab Swarms, which normally you would think they'd need to test for morale, but as their leadership 10, I cannot roll a 7 on a 6-sided dice.
Those swarms are excellent.
I have tried to roll 7 on a 6-sided dice, but it doesn't work. So again, nobody has to roll morale at this point. That takes us to the end of the first turn.
All right.
All right, turn 2.
Turn 2.
So turn 2, my command phase, first thing I do, get a command point. My Royal Warden is going to use his adaptive strategy ability to allow my Necron warriors to fall back and still shoot and charge if they choose to.
Intense.
My Overlord is going to use his command ability to give them my will be done. I get 1 back, and I don't get 1 back. He's just got to be placed in coherency with the rest of the models. Movement phase. So start of my movement phase, I'm going to move my Royal Warden. I'm going to move my Crypto Thrall just about an inch away so I can't fail a charge. And I move my Plasmancer a couple inches away. All right, so now my Necron warriors, because of the adaptive strategy, are able to fall back, and they'll still be able to shoot. That's my Lord. He's going to move up to here. Reserves. So it's the second turn, which means I can bring my reserves on from any table edge except in your deployment zone. I have all 3 of my destroyers as well as their plasma sight to come in. So 9 inches from these guys, that puts me all the way back here. So I'm going to go there. Plasma sight's going to hide there. He's going to go there. And this guy's going to bring up the backside. My Plasmancer's Harbinger of Destruction ability, unit with an 18 that's closest, which is your Assault Intercessors, on a 4-up, you take mortal wounds. So that unit takes 3 mortal wounds.
Ouchity, ouchity, ouch. I don't get any saves against that.
So my Royal Warden is going to shoot 2 times into your Blade Guard veterans. I hit you twice. I'm Strength 5. I do not wound you. So Strength 4 versus T4 is on 4s, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wounds, sir.
8 wounds, AP 1. So I am a Blade Guard veteran. I have a Storm Shield. 3 wounds. We use a stratagem that costs 1 command point to re-roll one of these once. Hopefully save myself a Blade Guard veteran. It does! Huzzah! I'm gonna have 2 wounds off.
I'm going to declare a charge with my Overlord into your Primaris Outrider. 9 inches. All right, so I'm going to charge my Crypto Thrall into the Assault Intercessors. I hopefully can make it. Look at that, I can. And now, to get within an inch of you, Yeah, that's a big charge. I need at least a 10 to reach with my destroyers. Otherwise, they're gonna stand there and do nothing. So here we go. Oh, I failed. I'm gonna spend a command point on the stratagem to re-roll. 11! All right, so start of the fight phase, before I declare who's activating, I have to declare whether I want to inject tainted energy into my Scorpex. On a d6, I roll. If I get a 1, it actually kills one of them. So my destroyers are going to have an extra attack and +1 strength. So I have 2 weapon profiles inside this unit. There's the Threshers, and then there's the Reap Blade. So I'm going to do the Hyperphase Reap Blade first, just because it's so fun. I hit you on 3s. Oh, I only hit you twice. I don't want to spend any command points to re-roll that. And I rolled 2s. Ugh. So strength 8 versus toughness 4, I need 2s. So that's 2 at AP 4 and flat 3 damage.
So I'm just going to kill these 2.
So I'm wounding you on 3s. Oh, only 3 wounds at AP 3. Flat 2 though.
So 6s.
There it is.
How much damage?
2, so it'll kill 1 guy. 3 attacks from my Overlord hitting you on 2s. I hit you twice, I'm at strength 7 versus toughness 5, so on 3s to wound. I'm gonna command point re-roll that. That 2 becomes a 4. 2 wounds at AP 3, D3 damage each.
Save one of them, I believe.
D3 damage is 3 wounds on your bike, sir.
He's got 1 wound left.
Well, I hit you 8 times.
Oh, good lord.
I'm strength 6, no
Toughness
bonus to my
5.
strength, so I'm wounding you on 3s,
Okay.
re-rolling once.
Okay. Oh, look at that.
Well,
Isn't
Tycho,
that fun?
you get to make 8 AP1 saving throws.
So if I roll 4 or higher,
if
8
you roll
times,
8 4s,
oh,
oh, and he
it's close.
almost does.
Failed twice. Sadly, my bike sergeant has been destroyed. I've taken quite a few losses on my intercessors, 5 in fact this round, meaning I get a +5 bonus to my roll, and I need to come under my 8 leadership. So I'm not particularly confident in that. I'm going to use a stratagem. Cost me 2 command points. That is insane bravery. This means that I just don't have to roll, and they're going to stand there and keep fighting. This is the only opportunity I'm going to get to use this stratagem. It says particularly in the stratagem itself, it's usable only once per game. Command phase. I'm going to gain 1 command point back. Sing a lot with my chaplain. La la la. So these 2 guys advance. They won't be shooting, and they will not be charging. But everybody else is available to do so. At the end of my movement phase, I'm going to bring on my strategic reserves. So I'm going to bring them right here.
Uh-oh.
I have eradicators.
Oh, do you ever?
And eradicators eradicate things. I'm going to empty the unit because if I declare only 1 target for my shooting phase, with all of my models in my unit, I get to shoot twice. So I'm going to do that. Oh, not too beautiful, only 4 hit.
Okay.
I have a strength of 8, you have a toughness of 6.
6, yeah.
So I'm wounding you on 3s. I'm going to use a command reroll to reroll my 2 because I want lots of wounds on this guy.
For sure.
That means that all wounds get through at -4. 4 wounds at -4.
Oh, that punches my armor completely, but he has what's called an invulnerable save. And an invulnerable save is a flat save that doesn't get negated by armor penetration value. It's, oh lordy. Oh, and I fail 3. I need to try to make him live. So I'm gonna re-roll with my last command point, so I'm out. I need to make a 4 or better to save. And I do. So 2 of them go through.
Now, I am within a foot, meaning that I actually get to roll 2 dice for damage and pick my favorite.
Why's that?
Because I'm a melt-a-weapon. So for the first one, 6 damage. Down he goes.
That's gonna kill him. So you don't even need to roll the wounds for the 2nd damage. So my Scorpec Lord,
Is
who
eradicated.
who did some work and heroically intervened, is definitely eradicated.
Those 4 guys who are in combat and because they have pistols can shoot in combat. Crypto Thrall. I'll hit. And 1,
T5.
2 wounds.
2 wounds, and I have a 3-up armor save. What's the AP? So I need a 4 or better to save, and I
Down he
fail.
goes.
And I'm out of command points, so my Crypto Thrall is dead.
Blam, blam.
My first charge will be my Justiciar. That's only a 5. But he didn't need it, so in he comes. Charge with my Blade Guard veterans into your warriors.
Yes,
and
sir.
again, no Overwatch.
Nope.
Lieutenant 8. That's a worthy charge. We go straight up over here to give the captain a clean run out.
Clapham's got a clean run too. He needs an 8. Does he make it?
A 3.
I'm going to use my command point reroll here. That's an 8.
That does it.
Yes, sir. In we go.
I'm going to heroically intervene with my Plasmancer to get into range of your assault intercessors.
Justiciar is attacking your Overlord. 4 wounds on you.
And I make 2. 4 damage. I think I have 1 wound left.
My Blade Guard veterans have 3 attacks base. They have Angels of Death, so they have 4. Sergeant ends up with 5, so that's going to be 13 total. Because I'm within 6 inches of my Ancient, I get +1, so I'm hitting you on 2s. Because I'm within 6 inches of my Chaplain, I get to re-roll.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Necrons.
Captain has 5 attacks base, 6 in the charge, I believe. So 4 wounds, -3, 2 damage apiece.
4 wounds -3, 2 damage each. 2 damage each, so I'm going to kill 1 Destroyer, and then the Destroyer that is in base with the Intercessors has 1 wound remaining.
The Lieutenant has 4 base attacks, 5 in the charge, 5 wounds.
5 wounds. So the first one, it's going to kill that Destroyer. So we'll move him out of the way. And then the last 4, I need 6s. He's dead. And I think that is the end of the fight phase. So I lost 8 Necron warriors that turn. My leadership is 10, +1 from my Overlord is 11. So that means if I roll a 4, 5, or 6, I'm going to suffer the effects of morale. Oh, so I suffer the effects of morale. I lose 1 model automatically. So this guy cannot be reanimated, so he's well and truly dead. And now I have to roll attrition. So I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm not under half my starting value. So I need to roll for every model remaining in the unit. And on a 1, that model 2 will flee because of combat attrition. Had I been under half, on a 1 or a 2, I would actually lose more models. So I have 10 models remaining. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On any 1s, these guys, I lose more models. I'm okay. Good thing I wasn't under half, I would have lost more. So that's all I lose for the morale phase. At the end of the second turn, exactly what I thought was going to happen. The moment you got to grips with my lions, you started to munch the crap out of me. I think you're in a really good place now. If I can get some reanimation back, if I can get these back up, and then I can shoot you enough, I think I can hold you off, but I'm really in tough with my Overlord there. He's going to have to get out of there. I'm in a tough spot, and the Marines are definitely in a good spot, I think, to take this. What do you think, Tycho?
I think that the second round has shown that, once I've got to grips, I'm able to do some damage, take out a serious threat on this side and a serious threat on this side. I think I'm in a good position to move in. At the same time, you can reanimate and move your unit back and do a lot of damage there. We'll see how this plays out, but I feel pretty confident that I've taken the center of the map. I'm showing the crusade off and using power swords to their full effect.
Are you ever? End of movement phase, he's going to do on 4-ups, they take mortal wounds. Take 2 mortal wounds to the Intercessors. I'm going to shoot him at the Justiciar. Everything hits. 3 wounds. AP 2, I think. Like a boss. Like a boss! I hit the Blade Guard. 2 hits. 2 wounds. And then it's Warriors.
He lives!
I'm going to charge the Blade Guard with the Canoptic Reanimator. 4 inches, I'm good. Flip. Warriors are going to charge your GCR. 5.
Fail across the.
Command point reroll. They're in.
Oh, yeah, you got it.
Yep. The start of the fight phase, everybody within 6 of him. On a 4-up takes mortals. Starting here, he takes a mortal wound. He does not. Assault intercessors do not. Blade Guard takes a mortal wound. So it kills the Blade Guard at the start of the phase. You got lucky. Okay. Wow, they hit twice.
Hit twice. And wound once.
Wound once. AP ridiculous.
Actually, I'll use a command point to reroll, so 2 wounds.
2 wounds.
Minus 4.
Nope. Damage.
Oodles. Blade Guard champ will charge your bad man.
Yep.
I really hope that this helps you learn how to play the game of 40K. It's a fantastic good time. We've had a great time showing it to you.
We're very happy to kick off 9th edition 40K with the Indomitus box set and its contents. We had a lot of fun filming this. We hope you enjoyed watching and hope you learned something. Until the next time you see us in the far-flung future of a grimdark universe,
Play on!